Welcome. Today we're going to chat about the new campaign book for 40k and also Dominion. I'm James.
And I'm Ben.
Hey Ben, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So 40k,
Yeah.
it's got a new book coming out, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it sure has.
What's it called?
It is called, I forgot the name already, Warzone Charadon, Act 2, The Book of Fire.
There is a bit of controversy with this, in my opinion,
Yeah.
which is mainly the fact that Chaos are in there,
Yeah.
but they're kind of getting a reprint, aren't they?
Yeah, like, just getting readjusted to 9th edition, but it just seems like copy and paste almost.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much what they did with the second Space Marine Codex.
Yeah, from 8th edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty annoyed about this actually, because I think this was a really opportunity for GGW to go, look, Chaos, you've not been forgotten. Here is your version of what Space Marines got the previous year.
Oh yeah.
Here's your 2 wounds.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 2 wounds.
And here's some, little tweaks in rules.
Yeah.
Because what happened last year when Indomitus came out was they went, right, here are FAQs for all the chapters that are not getting a supplement right now.
Yeah.
Because we're going to do the new Codex for Space Marines, and then we're going to do Blood Angels, Space Wolves, Dark Angels. They're all going to come out in time, but here's a bit of stuff, to keep you going. And this says to me that obviously Chaos Space Marines Codex is a long way off.
Yeah, I agree there.
And that could be a good thing, because it could mean more new models.
Yeah.
But it also could mean that we're not going to get good stuff, and it's on the back burner.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think Chaos needs?
I'd like to see new stuff. I still feel like they're gonna do another like Warp Smith model. Like what's it called for the Hellstrider guy? It says the Lord Discordant, and it says like in an underneath bit on Hellstrider. So it makes me think that like they're gonna do another Lord Discordant or maybe on its own or on a different mount or something. Because you tend to see that like with Captain on bike or Chaplain on bike. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that they're probably going to do that. But what Chaos needs, however, more stuff like Space Marines.
Yeah, I want Chaos tags so badly, Like, if they could do a Chaos Demon tank in the style of the new, like, the Gladiator tanks for Space Marines, I would be buying that tomorrow.
Well, I'd like it so to make them differentiate from Space Marines. Space Marines just seem to be going more into the future with their gear, so I think Chaos should go more into the past with theirs.
Yeah,
their gear should be like reminiscent of the Horus Heresy stuff.
I agree. How you've got the Plague Burst Crawler for Death Guard,
and then they brought out the Horus Heresy tank after.
Yeah,
it just like looks a spit of it, but it looks just the same, but also looks different. And I like that.
I would love to see like maybe like the Land Raider we have right now.
Yeah.
Got a pre-version of that in the Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
In the same way that you've got Blight Lord Terminators, which are quite clearly Cataphracti Terminators that have been, destroyed by Nurgle and the Warp. Really.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a version of like Land Raiders.
Yeah.
Where they've got like you've got Power of the Machine Spirit in them anyway, but I like properly like tainted by Chaos and the Warp. And they're like they look like a new tank. Like you'd look at it and you wouldn't go, that's clearly a Land Raider. You go, I can see where it started as a Land Raider. And now it, even if it had like Venom Crawler type legs coming out, that could work, And even the Predator, I'd love to see a version of the Predator that looks like possessed by a demon.
Well, they used to in 7th. You could get an upgrade for your vehicles in 7th. No one ever did it though, I don't think, because I think you could have your vehicle demonically possessed. You could do it for rhinos and predators and all that. And I think what it did was it gave it ballistic skill 4 though, so you're hitting on 4s. And also if it was a transport, if guys got out or in it, I can't remember which, you roll a dice for each guy, and on a 1, that guy gets eaten. And it was very specific to models as well, so a character could just get eaten up, and it would heal the vehicle 1 wound, I think. But these both sound like drawbacks. I can't remember what the positive was. It might have been a 5+ invulnerable or something.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound worth it for that.
No. Yeah.
But they might do something like that, maybe.
Yeah, and that would be like dream 40k, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But I guess coming back to this campaign book, it is a little frustrating because what was so good about 8th was when we got Psychic Awakening, each book felt it identified something in that codex that was lacking.
Yeah, yeah.
And, we both went to one of the 40k days, didn't we? The open day in 2019.
God, is that how long it was?
Yeah, I know. Well, obviously the pandemic, they didn't have one last year, and hopefully they'll have one this year.
Oh yeah, that's when they announced when they'd shown the update on that Blood Angel, the Angels of Death series as well, weren't they?
Yeah, they've obviously been saving that for Warhammer Plus.
Yeah,
that's probably been locked for like a year because they had the soundtrack come out about a year ago.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah, I've got that soundtrack. It's not that bad.
And it's weird that you can listen to the soundtrack well in advance of the actual product.
Yeah, well, that's funny because I've watched so many shows and you can't get the soundtrack till like months after the show. But this is like a reverse situation.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just deviate a little bit onto this and talk about Warhammer Plus quickly, and then we'll come back to the campaign book. But I guess with Warhammer Plus, I get a sneaky feeling that with Angels of Death, they plan to release that, and then later on they started to switch to doing a streaming service.
Yeah, I can see that.
And the streaming service makes sense, but you look at the streaming service and the plan for it, the reason that free model is there is because they don't have enough content on day one.
Yeah.
And we still don't know how the... if you've been living under a rock, you should know what... If you've been living under a rock and you don't know what's coming with Warhammer Plus, basically you're getting two shows to start, which is Angels of Death and Hammer and Bolter.
Yeah.
And then we're getting talk show type shows.
Oh,
there's
a
Battle Report one.
Yeah, we had a Battle Report.
There's Painting Masterclass.
Yeah.
And there's Lore Masters. And I don't know if they're going to be like one of those a week.
Oh, yeah, I get what you mean.
Or if all 3 of those shows are going to be once a week.
Yeah.
And I was quite happy when I heard that they were doing these 3 because I feel like that's the bread and butter for that streaming service.
Yeah, yeah.
We all watch battle reports or painting videos.
Yeah, the amount of times I go on Warhammer TV for little tips as well. So.
And them doing it now, I just think it's a great way to do it.
And it seems more interactive because the masterclass one, they said they take requests on their Twitter, I think, or something.
Would you think it's a good deal, Warhammer Plus?
Oh, I do. Yeah, like especially like they threw in that free model, and I already pay for the battle app. So to me, that's like what a character model tends to be £25.
Yeah,
I'm going to pay for the full year, which is £50. So take the £25 model off that as paying £25 for the rest. But I'm already paying for the app, which is already £2 a month. So that's £24 already. I'm pretty much paying £1.
Yeah,
for the whole service.
I don't have the app. When I saw what you were getting, I kind of thought it's a bit of a no-brainer. I mean, I don't need either of those 2 models for an army that I collect, but they're both nice. And
they
one
are
of
nice.
them, one of them I would love to put in my cabinet.
Yeah.
And I just think that like the amount of stuff you're getting, and I quite like that you can read. Do you think you're going to be able to get on your smart TV quite easy, or do you think it's going to be mostly people are going to be watching on the computer?
It'll probably be like, I don't think it'll be an app service including like my TV is ancient and
you can get Disney Plus on your TV though, can't you?
I can't.
Oh, can you
I have to get it on my Xbox.
Ah, right. Do you think you'll be able to get it on Xbox streaming?
Oh yeah, I think they'll. Because there's. I get why they did it because probably the cost of running their own app is cheaper than trying to work out a deal with some big service. So I'm sure like they'll get their app.
I think it's quite exciting. I think it's going to be quite good actually, and I think in a year's time it'll be a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Is it $4.99 a month?
Yeah, or $50 for a year, which
and I think that's $5.99 in America.
Yeah.
And I just think that this time next year, I'd be surprised if it wasn't $8.99 a month.
Like gone up loads.
Especially if there's a lot of TV shows on there.
Yeah, depends how many people sub though. If a lot of people sub, it might not go up as much.
You know, as well, I was a little bothered that the runtime for some of the animations is about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of anime, I watch quite a lot of animation. You do as well, don't you?
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, you want about 20 minutes. It's a sweet spot for an animated show. Like I've just watched Blood of Zeus on Netflix, and that's about 20 minutes an episode.
Yeah.
And a lot of anime on there is the same, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
But you know, I think they said 10 to 15, didn't they?
Yeah. I think though, really is because the Games Workshop are going into new territory, really. So it's kind of I bet they've never really. I don't think they've ever invested this much in media like this before.
Yeah.
Like normally it's like with games, for example, that's other parties getting access to their license to make their products. So, I'm really stupid on this kind of stuff. I don't actually know how any of it works. So,
yeah.
But I'm glad that they got like big fan production people involved in it. You know, the guy who did Astartes and.
Yeah, he's got a Astartes 2 coming out on it, hasn't he?
On it as well, yes.
And that Templar show looks quite cool, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see Astartes on that as well, just to rewatch it again, because you can only get it on YouTube and it's all mishmashed.
Yeah, you can actually get it on the Warhammer Community website, you know?
Oh, can you now?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
I'll show you in a bit, but if you're listening, if you go on Warhammer Community, it's on one of the bracket downs. I think there's like an animation topic thing.
Yeah.
And you can watch it on there.
Yeah,
I think there's a video on YouTube where they show that they basically put a filter over it from the original version.
Okay.
I don't know who decided to do that. I don't know why you wouldn't just leave it
as it is.
Yeah.
It was perfect as it was.
Yeah, exactly.
No dialogue. It was just.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see what he'll do next, because he'll have resources that Games Workshop have.
Yes, exactly.
Access to their stuff, their sounds, what they use, and stuff like that.
And what was really good with Astartes was he went off story-wise into a place that isn't that explored.
No.
In Black Library, and it was to do with the old ones, wasn't it?
Well, I was on his Patreon, and I remember he was asking his fan base a lot, like for help with stuff, like just to help them have their input and stuff. I don't know, like and he obviously got private messaged a lot, but so I don't know really, but he obviously wanted help from the fans themselves on what to do, which was really good.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
You got engaged with the audience more.
Yeah, and I just think it's going to be great. And I think there's a Black Templar show that looked cool. The animation looked cool on that. But moving on anyway, we'll get back to the campaign book because I'm still salty about that. So it is a reprint of basic things for Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah.
And you've got a lot of new stuff for Sisters. I think, did Dark Eldar get new rules for them in the last book? I think Admech in this book and the last book.
I think Admech were in the last book, but they weren't really exactly new. I don't know if they were new rules or not. And also, I think Imperial Knights are also in the first book.
Right.
I'm not 100% on that. I've not bought it. I still need to get it. But it's funny how if Imperial Knights are in it, which I'm not 100%. It's just annoying that they're getting this campaign book out before their rules. Their own codexes are out, because it was the case with Admech. Anyway.
It just feels that you're paying for your codex and then you're paying extra money to get like DLC for Sisters.
Yeah,
and campaign books are your DLC.
I still
in
need
40K.
to. Yeah, I like getting them still.
But I like it when it does really progress the lore.
Yeah,
and like with the Psychic Awakening, it gives you stuff that you need.
Yeah,
and I think Chaos are kind of slapped in there a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Bellicor's supposed to like be able to be.
He's got some cool rules in there, though, hasn't he?
Isn't he supposed to be usable with regular Chaos Space?
Yeah, I think so now.
In some way, and I really want to get the campaign books, and I've still not got around to buying the first one.
Right.
But I'm going to buy them. I'm going to complain about them, but I'm going to buy them still.
Yeah. I just felt a little bit that. I think focusing a bit on... I get it's different from 8th.
Yeah.
I just feel that 8th you look at things a bit with tinted glasses at times.
Oh yeah.
7th was a really enjoyable time for me because I got into 40k back in 7th.
Yeah, it was
And you got back into 40k in 7th, didn't
yeah.
you? But it was very unbalanced 7th.
And also the rules were just all over the place.
Yeah.
It was so clustered.
And when 8th came out, it completely rebranded it,
Yeah.
completely rebooted it.
Yeah.
The story rebooted in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
With the return of Gulliman and Demon Primarchs propping up.
Well,
it felt like from day one in 8th that all of the indexes, everyone was on the same page. And then as the codexes came out, the power creep happened. But I never felt like early on in 8th, there was a massive difference between a codex and a non-codex. Whereas we're at a point in 9th where if I play Eldar and you play Space Marines or you play Necrons and you play against, say, Orcs and Eldar really struggle against a codex.
Yeah, yeah.
More so than they would have in 8th.
Well, I think Orcs are already struggling anyway, but...
And I just think that these campaign books are kind of getting away from what we really need. And yeah, the pandemic's probably slowed down a lot of, the release schedule.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I'm just a bit unhappy about it,
Yeah.
And I just felt like a real slap on the arse when I saw that picture with what they were doing for Chaos Space Marines, man. And it was like, we're reprinting. And they did it in 8th with the Mark II Chaos Space Marine Codex. That was so annoying. They didn't do any other Mark II codexes, just Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah, and it came out, wasn't it, just after Shadow Spear or something? I can't remember exactly, but it's funny that Space Marines got their own redone codex, but Chaos Space Marines were just like, nah, right, we're just going to add to their old one.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
The Space Marines, I think, they gave them like lots of new stuff from then on. They gave them new stratagems.
Yeah.
And I think they started doing the Devastator stuff, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think that's when they started doing all the doctrines.
Yeah. And I'd like to see Chaos Space Marines get, not a doctrine, I don't want them to have a doctrine, but they've kind of got Death to the Full Semper, haven't they? But they could do with something like some kind of boost.
Yeah.
Powers of the Dark Gods, if you select Khorne as your mark, you get a buff, say.
I don't mind that they don't have doctrines. I'd like them to have...
I'm not saying they need doctrines. Yeah. I just think it'd
something
be cool.
Doctrine-like, but not in label.
So Dominion came out, didn't it, the weekend for pre-order? Yeah. And it seems popular, I think. Yeah. What do you think? Do you think it looks
it definitely looks popular. I wouldn't say it's as been as popular as Indomitus. When Dominion was coming out, oh my goodness. I kept going on Warhammer Community just to see, I don't know, rumour engines and stuff. And all it was Sigmar news. I think after a week and a bit, or it might have just been a week, I looked at Warhammer Community news. I've shown everyone this at work as well. Like, it was just, the news, I get why though. Dominion was coming, so that should get the front page. But I think, there was so much Age of Sigmar news. The last 40k news, technically 40k news, was that Imperial Guard, the regiment standard.
Yeah.
So the stuff that's just being there just to be, funny or whatnot. It's not actually 40k news. It's just like, I don't get me wrong though. I like Imperial Regiment stuff.
Yeah, I do. I find sometimes it's a bit like they just throw it on.
Yeah. But that was literally the last one. There was a Necromunda news.
Give the 40k people a bone.
Yeah, and I think even there was a Lord of the Rings news on the Warhammer Community that was more recent than the 40k at the time.
I will say though, we're 40k people here being salty at the moment.
Yeah, we know we are.
Out of all of the games that GW make, Lord of the Rings gets the worst time out of anyone.
Yeah, it does, definitely.
And I remember there's a guy that's now one of the I think he writes and helps the development of the Lord of the Rings / Hobbit game.
Yeah.
It's Middle Earth now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he used to work in Warhammer World, the Games Workshop store there. And I remember catching him at Element Games at a Hobbit tournament
really?
On a Friday. I was playing 40k, but
I remember you telling me this.
They had a big thing on, and I remember chatting to him again at Nottingham Warhammer World, and I've seen him on loads of videos now, and I always think like, you know, he was the sort of person that kept playing that game, and he said he was really passionate about it. He loved the game, and he was getting no support. He was getting no love other than its small fan base. And you know, like fair play to I felt quite happy for him when they got that rebrand of Middle Earth.
Oh yeah,
and all the new books and stuff. And they've had new models as well, haven't they?
Yeah, like Treebeard and some other stuff.
But I feel like 40K's felt a bit detached this year.
Yeah.
But I feel like Middle Earth's just vanished off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
And a lot of this is probably because of the pandemic.
Maybe, yeah.
But I feel like if you're a Sigmar fan, it's a good time to be in that game at the moment. Like this whole year. You know, we've talked about this a lot privately. Like, how many releases do Sigmar get over the last 5 years compared to the other games?
Yeah, I think a lot, yeah.
And I would like to actually tally it up, and I'd love it if someone commented and tallied it up and told me that I'm like chatting crap.
I'd like to be told that I'm just chatting out my ass.
But I really feel like Sigmar, we've had Luminef, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we've had all these new Sigmar Marines. And Sigmar Marines, they had new stuff. They had the chamber open with the Celestial stuff a couple of years ago.
There was also the elves that are part of the forest stuff. Well,
they're quite old though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because they came out around the sort of time the
Sigmar,
orcs ended.
when Sigmar first came out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I remember when Warhammer Community was made and that was a thing. I was like going on Warhammer Community every day when Sigmar first came out. I think it was like for the whole year. It just felt like Community was just meant for Sigmar.
Yeah.
I was like, am I going to get any 40k stuff yet? And like, and anything that was 40k was not model. It was never model.
It was like drips of stuff at times.
I think at the time, and then all of a sudden it was Thousand Suns, I think.
Yeah.
And
so we're going back to sort of 2016 now, aren't we?
But no, when you look back now to Thousand Suns, you feel their release was really shit, really.
It was,
It's so minuscule. And
what was frustrating was that like they gave Thousand Suns loads of Sigmar models that were now suddenly 40k models.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on them because I love
Zangor. And that's what I'm hoping with that Celeste model, because the Zangor's in it.
What frustrated me with Thousand Suns was when it actually came to their codex in 8th, they got one new model, and the model they got was a really old Sigmar model, which is cool. It's that Vortex beast.
Oh, the Mutileth Vortex beast, which it doesn't have half bad rules. I just think
it's a cool model.
I think it costs a lot of points though for what it does.
I just think they should have had like a tank or a kind of.
All their tanks actually had upgraded weapons compared to everything else. Instead of having to pay command points to do it.
Because Death Guard's Chaos Space Marine release, I think, was perfect. They got so many cool models.
They got a nerf to their disgustingly resilient, and then.
So I'm thinking back, back in 8th.
Yeah, my bad. Yep.
When they released in 8th,
their release was.
It was just solid. It was just like every kind of unit they needed: tanks, vehicles, troops.
Maybe a bit too many in the elite slot though.
Yeah, loads of characters.
But still, it was
every
model was cool.
They're still getting stuff now. I mean, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that they got a new terrain piece and a new character.
Yeah, they did. I mean, saying that, Thousand Suns are due a character in the box,
and hopefully a terrain piece.
But this is part of why I think my frustration's there is we had the open day online and we hardly got any kind of like they drip fed us 40k and they promised us we've got loads.
Oh yeah.
They had nothing.
Yeah.
They had a box.
That one day of Sigmar had more than that one day of, like, a hell of a lot more than that.
There was more in the Black Library day.
Yeah.
For 40k.
Yeah, there was one.
There was in the 40k day.
And then there was that plastic Thunderhawk, which was vexed a load of people.
I mean, that was clever and funny, but that clever and funny in like taking the mick out of your fan base.
Yeah.
And your customers. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there's the box coming out for Thousand Suns, which is with Grey Knights, and obviously there are going to be a lot of repacked models and probably 2 new characters, which would be cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
But we've not heard any more about it, and we've not heard any more about Orcs, and I'm really excited for Orcs.
There's that thing coming though, isn't there? Is it this weekend?
I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's either this weekend or Wednesday. I can't remember which.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think Orcs have needed an update for a long time. I feel like they need a Necron style update. They don't need loads of new models. They need new boys, which we're getting. Brilliant.
Plus that 1 toughness, please.
Yeah.
Everything.
Toughness 10 grots, isn't it? Basically, one of us thought that grots were like becoming insanely tough.
Oh, I thought they were toughness 3 and then going on to toughness 4, but it turned out they were toughness 2 going to toughness 3.
Which is fine.
Which is good. That's still
toughness
good.
3 for grots is fine.
Yeah.
Toughness 4 would have been like, what? I'm excited for this like celebration type orc box. Is it, what are they called? They're not, snake bites are one of the clans.
Beast snaggers?
Beast snaggers, yeah. They're getting a box, aren't they? That looks
like the
cool.
equivalent of the buggies.
Yeah.
They're speed freaks.
Well, this is the thing. The buggies were sick.
Oh, the buggies are amazing.
You know, I feel like if they'd have done boys back then, I wouldn't be probably pushing for a release. But I think getting this...
I'm so excited for those new boys as well.
Yeah, getting the Beast Snaggers. I just think Beast Snaggers is going to be like amazing. A new faction for Orcs. I think that's quality.
And there's that war boss, that new war boss.
Yeah, I just hope there's loads of models, man.
Yeah, I think there is going to be.
I want to see big squiggers.
And Scott said as well.
Guns on top.
Oh, yeah.
And like rhino horns.
That chariot from the
yeah.
images. Everyone's been looking at that with
I'm
eagle
looking
eyes.
at Dominion and seeing the new Orc big models coming out.
Oh, they look sweet, don't they?
And I'm just jealous.
Yeah.
Because that's what I've wanted for 40k. Like I've got to say, the new Orcs in Sigmar look amazing. I love the shape of their faces.
I love their like poses. Like they're quite slender compared to the other.
Part of me wishes they'd gone a bit more like that in 40k, because the Beast Snaggers just look like the normal kind of Orc expressions, don't they?
Well, I get why these ones look the way they do. They look more. When you imagine like people living in swamps and stuff.
Yeah.
Like in the States and all that, you kind of imagine kind of skinny hillbilly look.
They do, don't they?
And that's kind of what like they've given me that vibe with them.
Yeah.
You know, like there's many ways to survive in the wild. You don't have to be the strongest. You can also be fitter in other ways.
Yeah.
Faster or whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, the Sigmar Orcs look amazing. I'm really hyped for it. And really, they say if you can't beat him, join him. We've moaned all day about Sigmar, and maybe we should just start collecting Sigmar.
I'm going to get an Andrasta model when she comes out on her own.
Do you like Stormcast Eternals?
I do. I don't. I like the look of them, and
I like them, but at times I think they do put me off Sigmar.
Yeah.
And I feel like Sigmar did need them. Like when they first came out, I wasn't thinking, oh, it's because they look like Marines. I always felt like they needed a kind of focal point in Sigmar.
Yeah.
But now I look at the new Stormcast stuff and I don't know what it is about it, but I just find Stormcast a bit much. And, one thing I like about Sigmar is that the Chaos Gods are done so well in that.
Yeah.
And this is another kind of release that's annoyed me, is that like Chaos in Sigmar has had countless models come out these last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
They've had all new Greater Demons, all new Demon kits, and the Demon kits then have been kind of half shoved into 40k, like we've already talked about.
Yeah.
But then Chaos Space Marines has not had that kind of support.
Yeah.
And it got rebranded. The new Chaos Space Marine models are sweet. New Abaddon. You can do like a modern Chaos army now, which is great. But the tanks are still old.
Yeah.
We've already talked about that. Tanks are still old. The demon engines, there's not enough.
Yeah, we need more of them.
The Defiler, how old is that model?
Yeah, it's quite old, that one. It's still an awesome model. It's just old. I just realised as well. With the Stormcast, is that big guy basically the version of the Gravis armor, or is that like something to come?
Yeah.
Because remember, like the last edition, they brought out the like scouty looking Stormcast. And then we got Phobos armor guys, and then this big guy's come out.
I feel like if we get another 40k armor though, I'm just gonna go.
Another
God.
a bigger, bulkier Space Marine in the next year's Space Marine Codex.
I feel like the next step would be, like you said, we had new Intercessors, then we had Gravis armor, then Phobos armor, and then we kind of revisited Gravis armor. Well, at the same time, we got Assault Intercessors.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
then Blade Guard with all the sort of Blade Guard type characters.
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah.
Indomitus. And I feel like actually that Blade Guard armor is quite unique. It doesn't look like Assault Intercessor armor. It looks like a step forward.
Yeah.
You know, with the fins coming off the legs.
Yeah, yeah.
If they do like armor that's like that, I'd be like, oh my god,
I'd just
so
like
bored.
if they just as well. They keep saying, "Oh no, they're not going to cut out the Omnis." Well, I'd just like them just to maybe. Why don't you visit some of their resin models and just make them plastic?
Yeah,
You know, instead, I'm not be Primaris either.
I would like them really to go right. Every Chaos Space Marine Legion needs a character, or needs a model, and you know, I'd like to see a Night Lord character. I'd like to see a Word Bearer's character. I'd like to see a character for.
Yeah.
Well, you've already got Fabius Bile, haven't you?
Yeah.
Old Bill.
But he's kind of not really Emperor's Children.
Yeah, he's not. He's got his own creations of.
So
of Bill.
What's his name now? I think what they'll do is, if they do, they won't revisit old models and just make new guys.
Yeah, I feel like that. That's fine.
Because that's what they did with some of the 40k stuff. They revisited.
Well, Adrax Agatone is a new character for Salamanders, isn't he?
But they left Vulcan Heastan. But then they revisited White Scar's Khan. But they didn't revisit Lysander.
Right.
For the Imperial Fists.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a nice mix, isn't it? Some get revisited, some get new models.
Yeah, and it's tricky because those are the two ways you do it, I think, for Chaos Space Marines. You either release a load of new cool like tanks and demon engines, or you go, right, we'll just do a supplement. We'll do a main codex and we'll do supplement release like we did for Space Marines.
Yeah.
In Chaos Space Marines. Here's character, here's this, here's that.
Yeah, yeah.
Or 40k focuses on releasing its codexes, and probably what I would think would be wise is in the same way in Sigmar now, every couple of months you seem to get a brand new army with loads of models, you know, whether it's dwarves, elves. Like we've had like, how many elf armies have we had in the last 4 years alone?
Yeah.
I mean, Sylvaneth's quite a long time ago, but then we had Indanith Deepkin, then we had, is it Sisters of Marathi?
Yeah.
Or I can't remember what the new Dark Elves are called.
Yeah.
And then we've had Lumineth.
Yeah, we've had Warcry as well. Don't forget Warcry stuff.
And I think, you know, that's the way to go with 40k now. Like, just go, right, we're going to do a new Eldar Codex for Craft Worlds, and we're going to do a new like supplement for them, which is going to be Exodites.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Well,
is it Exodites, the dinosaur guys?
I think so. I'm not 100% on that. You just reminded me as well with Chaos. I hope they need to sell the certain models individually now, like the Obliterators, the Venom Crawler.
Yeah, you can't buy Obliterators. You have to buy the Start Collecting
What's
box,
it called?
which is a great buy.
Yeah, but this worries me. I hope the Combat Patrol for Chaos is not just that Start Collecting box, you know, of that half of Shadow Spear, just with an added thing on it, like a Rhino.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll just be like, oh, for God's sake, they've just literally done what they've done with the Space Marine one.
Yeah.
And the thing with the Space Marine one is they have other options. You can get the Blood Angel one and it's still pretty good price.
Yeah.
You can get the Dark Angel one. You can get the Space Wolf one. Or maybe not the Space Wolf one because that's got actual Space Wolf stuff in it, which is crap.
Yeah, and I do think they've been quite smart not giving us a release schedule now for 40k like they did this time last year.
We find out like every so often now, innit?
And I think that's because they realised that, you know, the Games Workshop have had issues with their supply and demand, haven't they?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to sound like a complete killjoy. I think the campaign book, bringing it back to that's where we started, I think that has maybe just been quite negative for me.
Yeah.
Because I just don't see the point of it, you know?
Yeah.
And the campaign books in the past, like, I remember when Traitors Hate and Angel's Blade came out in 7th, they were so good.
Yeah.
They felt like they were progressing the story on. And I feel like something's happening. Vigilus Ablaze was great.
Well,
you know, it felt like the story was progressing again. It was on the same level as Traitors Hate for me.
Came and went, didn't it?
But these Charadon books, I just don't really get it. Like, what's going on? Like, you know, I know what's going on. There's stuff with Typhus, isn't there? And
it's basically like there's been fighting going on in, I can't remember what system, and it's spilling over into the Charadon sector.
I just like, where is Abaddon? What is he doing?
Yeah.
You know?
We've got Be'lakor appearing, and it's like, I need to really read them though. Personally, I need to know actually.
Yeah.
I very rarely read the lore in campaign books, and I really need to get into a habit of doing it. There was the Traitors Hate one. I read all of it, and I loved that.
Yeah, it was good, that one.
And I've read bits of the Vigilus ones, and I just never fully read them. Which I need to...
Vigilus was good. Like, you know, when Abaddon shows up, it kind of changes the game a bit. You know, before that, Vigilus was kind of becoming a war-torn planet that certain sections, orcs were just like making whatever they wanted.
Yeah, just did what the fuck they liked.
Space Marines were trying to get a bit of a hold on it. The Chaos Space Marines were there and saying,
as well,
well, wasn't it Harken Worldclaimer arrives and says Abaddon, no, this world will be claimed in like this many days.
And then it turned out in that exact amount of days Abaddon came out.
Which was amazing. You know, that kind of promotion was brilliant back then. I don't know, I feel like we've lost that a little bit. And I think that's where my frustration lies.
Harken Worldclaimer, bloody hell, he should have been a Night Lord model.
Yeah. I think I get why they did it in the way they did, but like you said, or maybe
he needs a buff as well.
Actually. You know how for Dark Angels you've got the Psychic Awakening model Lazarus, and that model is Lazarus, or it has alternative bits in the model that you can just turn it into a regular Dark Angel captain.
Totally,
If they'd have done that with Harken Worldclaimer, you could have easily. I know everyone kit bashes him. You've done it, haven't you?
Yeah, I've kit bashed him.
Yeah,
he just needs a buff because his actual rules are rubbish.
Yeah,
like, he's just got a regular lightning claw and a spear that is only used.
I don't think anyone would take him for Black Legion.
No,
I mean, if you're like, I love Raptors so much.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he does buff Raptors.
But hey, he might get a buff in the next Codex release.
Maybe.
You never know, do you?
Yeah, true.
So content-wise, we're hoping to have a battle rep out in the next couple of weeks.
Hopefully 2 sooner as well.
It's been recorded. It was...
Oh yeah, the first one was, what was it? 2 Necrons fighting against each other, and then the one after was my Novak against George's Ultramarines. And
they should be soon. I mean, I'm sure Scott would be here with us if he could, but unfortunately he's been tragically struck down by shin splints.
Yeah, shin splints, yep, definitely.
And he's having a real tough time with that, isn't he? So he can't be with us.
Workload, it's making
I do want to say, like, my thoughts and prayers are with him and his family in this tough time.
And his shins.
Yeah. And then after that, we're hoping to record some Blood Angels that I'm slowly not painting.
What are you playing against? Is it Death Guard?
Yes, it is. But I bought quite a few Blood Angels over the past couple months, and I've had Mephiston like locked in my drawer of shame.
Came out, didn't you?
Yeah, I bought him like the week he was on pre-ordered. I ordered it, and I only built him. I built him like quite recently, and I'm gonna say when I built that model, it was the most frustrating model to build. I couldn't glue him properly, and then his book got in the way, and I had to reopen him to get the book in the right place.
That was painful.
And then I put his arm on, and he's got 2 arm variations. Like the plasma pistol, or the one where he's like wiping the blood off his mouth. And I went for the wiping the blood off his mouth because I just think that looks sick.
Yeah.
And I think I stuck the part originally on where the plasma arm should be locked into.
Oh, really?
So I was like, this looks weird. It's like he's giving a finger up at someone, which kind of looked cool, but I managed to get it right and just glue everywhere. And I said to him, I said, Mephiston, you are the most stubborn model I've ever built.
It looks cool though.
And what about you? What have you been working on?
Storks, more orcs.
More orcs.
Yeah, that's about it really.
You got quite a lot of orcs now, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got loads, mate. I've got 120 boys, I think.
What, really?
I think about 120 boys.
Ben, you are the green tide.
Well, it's good. Get them off eBay.
Yeah, that's true.
They're already pre-built. I don't have to.
They'll probably be even cheaper now with the next release. Like,
or maybe more expensive.
I really like that boy they posted online.
I think as well, like, I don't think...
I love the expression on his face. I just think they look like how boys should. They look bigger. You know, they look like Toughness 5 boys.
Yeah.
And I think they'll go great with the old school boys. I don't think you need to like update your old boys. If you've got old boys, keep using them.
Yeah.
Good. So that's what we're coming up. We're hoping to get a bit more on this series.
Yeah.
We're also going to start looking at books.
Yeah, books.
Black Legion books
What
have
books?
been read.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you read them?
Sure have.
I've not read the Night Lord's books that you've read, though, Ben.
I've only read the first one of that as well.
Well, I'm going to read that. Maybe we'll start with that. We've been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
But my reading has been worse than my painting, which is saying something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, stay tuned,
Well,
and we'll see you
talking to
soon. Yeah, mate, it was good talking to you as always, and I'll catch you soon.
Right. See you later.